At the peak of Brazil's tallest Sao Paulo building, a man stands on the ledge outside the 21st floor. Who will persuade this man from jumping? One of his feet is already dangling in the air, a mere step away from the abyss. The onlookers below hold their breath. In an attempt to save him, helicopters, ambulances, fire trucks, and negotiators are all dispatched, yet after 6 hours of negotiation there's no progress. Because this man contemplating suicide is Professor Julio, Brazil's foremost psychologist. He understands the human heart better than anyone, yet he cannot console himself. Just then, an elderly beggar with graying hair approaches the crowd. Looking up at the man on the ledge, a bystander asks, "Are you going up there? I bet he's going to die." The beggar snatches a sweatshirt from a bystander with a quick thank you and heads towards the building. Dodging security, he makes his way to the elevator. Meanwhile, Professor Julio glances at the sky and slowly closes his eyes. Just then, the beggar, having eluded security, climbs over the windowsill and sits beside Julio. Startled, Julio retreats, urging, "Stay away from me, I'm going to jump." The beggar nonchalantly responds, "Jump if you must, but don't disturb my meal, okay?" He even offers Julio a bite. When the police, sensing something amiss, come to check, the beggar assures them, "Relax, I've got this under control. If he jumps, I'll let you know." The police reluctantly leave. The beggar then turns to Julio, "They're gone now. Go on, jump. You wanted to, didn't you? If you want to blossom your head, go ahead." Seeing Julio unmoved, he continues, "Every 4 seconds someone commits suicide. One more or one less makes no difference." Julio, realizing the beggar's tactic, slowly spreads his arms, preparing to leap. Sensing danger, the beggar adds, "You'd be a murderer." Puzzled, Julio asks, "What are you talking about?" The beggar explains, "Jumping not only kills you but also those who love you, your family and friends." This strikes a chord in Julio, who pulls out his son's photo. The beggar casually remarks, "Why so nervous? I'm just a madman. You've read so many books, but have you ever seen one that says death solves everything?" Faced with the beggar's probing questions, Julio can only offer an awkward smile. The beggar keeps questioning, and Julio, frustrated, shouts, "You have no idea what I've lost." The beggar retorts, "And you don't know what I've lost either." Julio falls silent, realizing even in his lowest moments he's no worse off than a beggar. Julio then asks, "Who exactly are you? A psychologist? A priest or a madman?" The beggar responds, "I am a dream merchant. 5 years ago, he was a billionaire entrepreneur, juggling over 200 companies. He was always engrossed in his work, often neglecting his family. Returning home late one night, his daughter sadly asked why he hadn't come, as she had been waiting for him. Feeling ashamed, he promised his daughter he would make it next time, but she pointed out that he always said next time and never fulfilled his promises. So to make amends with his family, he decided to cancel all his work and spend some quality time with them. Just before boarding the plane, his phone rang again. Despite his wife's urging not to answer, he took the call. After hanging up, he told his wife he had to go back for a meeting. Understandingly, his daughter said they could wait until he was done, but he insisted they go ahead without him. After they left, he watched their plane take off, only to witness it explode moments later. He ran towards the wreckage in a frenzy, but it was too late. All that was left were the remains. Holding his daughter's doll, he broke down, realizing the importance of family. Since then, Mello donated all his wealth and buried his former life along with his family. He became a beggar, calling himself a dream merchant, trading in things money can't buy: courage for the fearful, bravery for the timid, and faith for those who have lost theirs. Julio, intrigued, asked, "What about those who want to commit suicide? What do you sell to them?" Mello responds, a comma, a simple pause, allowing them to continue writing their story. Seeing the change in Julio, Mello decides to give himself another chance. Stepping down from the ledge, Mello continues his journey, and Julio decides to follow him, curious to see how he brings hope to others. During their search, a black boy runs by, and Mello immediately follows him. At an abandoned factory, Mello stops the boy just as the police and an elderly lady catch up. The lady accuses the boy of stealing her wallet, and the police ask Mello to release him. Mello then speaks, "Society has bound our hands and feet. The first to be redeemed is the one who lets go. Isn't he about the same size as your grandson?" The elderly lady looked at the boy and then asked the police to release him. Ashamed, the boy returned the wallet to the lady. With just a few words, Mello successfully saved a young soul. Moved by this, Julio decided to face his challenges head-on and have a heart-to-heart talk with his son. However, at that very moment, his son was at the same location, prepared to end his life in the same manner. Atop Brazil's tallest Sao Paulo building, father and son were poised to end their lives at the same spot in the same way. Just 2 days after the father, now the son. What could drive him to such despair? The blame fell on his father, Julio, Brazil's most renowned psychologist. Seeing João on the news, Julio hurried to the scene. He skillfully climbed over the windowsill to stop João, but João became even more agitated at the sight of him. "Don't come any closer, go away," João cried out, collapsing, and Julio dared not approach further. Julio had always strived for perfection, and was exceedingly strict with João since his birth, expecting him to excel in everything. Unable to meet his father's high standards, João felt immense internal pressure and pain, leading him to this extreme decision. "Do you know what I'm thinking? Do you think I don't dare to jump? I don't care about what you think anymore. I'm just a burden to you anyway. It's time to end it all," João said, preparing to jump. Julio pleaded, "Give me another chance, I was wrong before. Can we start over?" But João wouldn't listen and began to lean forward, arms outstretched. At that moment, Julio said, "If that's the case, I'll jump first. Without you, I can't go on." Julio stepped forward, his feet already hanging in midair, just a step away from doom. João watched in shock, unable to believe that his near-perfect father would go to such lengths for him. He rushed forward and grabbed his father, and the two embraced tightly, finally opening their hearts to each other. We need time. I'm here to help you with anything. I can give you a pause, a comma, to continue writing your own story, even if the world crumbles and falls upon you, Julio said. I once bought a comma, he added. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.